Right now, sunny skies and 70 degrees. A beautiful Sunday ahead, but storm chances return this week. Chris is tracking your Memorial Day forecast and what's ahead for your work week. And a Wisconsin assistant basketball coach is recovering this morning after a fatal crash that killed his wife and daughter. Plus, it's all over. The Bucks fall to the Raptors in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, where the team fell short in their final game of the season.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's 6:30 in the morning on this May 26th. I'm Jamie Perez with meteorologist Chris Reese. It was gorgeous yesterday.
Oh, yes, it was.
And it's going to be gorgeous today?
Yeah, another nicer day. Today's going to be a little bit cooler than yesterday, which I won't complain. I got a little hot while I was outside yesterday. But you know what? It was a fantastic day to be on the lake. I can say that much. A great day yesterday. Clouds may make things look a little intimidating today. I'll show you those in just a moment. For the most part, today will actually be a good day. We're a little bit cooler this morning by about, say, 15, 20 degrees, depending on where you are. That's simply because we did have a cold front move through. Now, it was a dry cold front, so we didn't necessarily see any rain or thunderstorms as it did so. But notice the winds coming out of the north and notice the cooler temperatures. 40 showing up as you work your way up towards Camp Douglas and Black River Falls. Temperatures in Madison, we sit at 58 degrees, winds coming out of the north. It is cloudy though. In fact, here's a look at our tower camera, just looking back towards the south and west. Those clouds are actually with the complex of thunderstorms, but that complex of thunderstorms is actually well south of here. That's across parts of northern Illinois. That cold front that's moving through right now should keep those storms to our south as we go throughout the day. So, Jamie, I'm honestly not too concerned about rain chances. I will say it's possible that a pop-up storm develops, but for the most part, folks, will be dry all day long today. We're not going to see those rain chances really come back until we get into your Monday. So expect sunshine and temperatures in the mid-60s, mid-70s, that is, for us. And then those storm chances do return Monday and into Tuesday. Both days could bring us severe weather.
Last chance to get to Bratfest. Did you go yesterday?
I'm going today. As soon as this 8 o'clock show is over, I'm on my way to Bratfest.
Well, you can go meet Chris Reese today at Bratfest. If you have a pool as well, Chris is looking for a pool to hop into. All right, thanks so much, Chris. Topping the news this morning, it's all over for the Bucks. The team was hoping history would repeat itself from 2001 when the team was down 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Hornets going into Game 6 and ended up winning. That did not happen. Despite a hot 3-point streak from Chris Middleton and 21 points from Giannis, the Bucks could not stop the Raptors. The team ended up losing 100-94. After the game, Giannis suggested this could be just the start for Milwaukee, who won their only championship back in 1971. He says they've got to get better as a team as well as individually, and called this the start of a long journey. Because the Bucks lose Game 6 to the Raptors again with the final of 100-94, the Raptors are heading to the NBA Finals for the first time in history to face the Warriors. The Bucks finished the season with a 60-22 record. The Badger men's basketball assistant coach Howard Moore and his family were in a car crash near Ann Arbor, Michigan early Saturday morning. His wife and daughter were killed in that crash. It happened around 2 o'clock in the morning when a 23-year-old woman was driving the wrong way on Highway M14 and hit Coach Moore's car head on. Madison State Police say that 23-year-old was killed immediately. Another car was also involved, but that driver was not seriously injured. Coach Moore is in critical condition, and his son, who was also in the car, suffered minor injuries. Moore played at Madison and was an assistant under Bo Ryan from 2005 to 2009 and also head coach at Illinois Chicago before he came back as an assistant under Greg Gard. This morning, the list of well-wishers grows, including Tony Granato, Kelly Sheffield, and former players all tweeting their prayers. More local news now this morning. We hosted our annual Hunger Heroes Telethon this week in partnership with the Goodman Center, which provides about 12,000 meals every summer. If you'd still like to pitch in, you can. The food pantry alone sees a 15% increase when kids are out of school and families need more help filling that pantry. Paul Kater has been a volunteer there for years and says he sees up to 8 new people needing help every week. About 150 families rely on that food pantry at Goodman on a weekly basis.
Most of our recipients tend to come only when they need it. They're very conscious of sharing with others, but some, obviously, this is their only source of food.
If you would like to help out, there are also items you can drop off at Goodman like cereal, spaghetti, sauce, peanut butter and jelly and granola bars. We have a full list up on channel3000.com. The center is also hoping to collect all donations by June 21st. And a special thank you to everyone who has already donated. While we are still entering in all of that data, it looks like we were able to raise more than $33,000 to help fill the shelves at the pantry. That number includes two $5,000 matching gifts from the Culver's Foundation and Cisco Foods. Topping this week's business headlines, Wisconsin homes are not selling like they were this time last year. The new report from the Wisconsin Realtors Association says in April, home sales were down by almost 10% from last year at this time. This comes as the averages on home prices climb. Average prices were up just over 8%, bringing them to $195,000 in the past year. Experts say the lower sales and higher prices are due to new homes being on the market. Wisconsin's been a seller's market now for nearly 2 years. If you're doing any online shopping this weekend, the Better Business Bureau has a warning for you. According to the study by the BBB, billions of dollars are lost every year due to counterfeit products sold online, and about 1 in 4 people have ordered something online and gotten a counterfeit product instead. Some products to be extra careful about: purses, clothing, jerseys, and cosmetics. The BBB said to avoid this, make sure the reviews are reputable by the company and make sure the company actually exists. You can also check with the BBB because they encourage people to report these scams to help others out in the future.
We have over 2,000 complaints that have been reported to us and over 500 scam tracker reports on this. But it's so underreported because people either don't know that they've received counterfeit goods or they don't care they've received counterfeit goods.
Schultz says if nothing else, putting the purchase on a credit card so you can get a refund from the bank would be a good idea. You may be one step closer to having your mail delivered by a robot, or at least touched by one on its journey. The U.S. Postal Service is now in the middle of testing a pilot program which uses automated trucks to do a 1,000-mile route between distribution centers in Phoenix and Dallas. The Postal Service is looking for ways to cut costs because they're not getting as much from paper mail traveling like they used to. As lots of us are traveling this weekend or gearing up for a summer trip, we have a call for action from one woman who says an online travel site cost her thousands and took years to fix. As Merit Adhan has 3 young daughters, she flew them from to her home country of Ethiopia to see her brother get married, and they have great memories from that trip, but not so much the flight there. As Merit says, she bought her tickets through Cheapo Air online. When the family got to the airport, her 2 youngest daughters had been booked on a separate flight to another airport in Ethiopia.
That's frustrating, very frustrating, sad. This is neglect, abuse. How can 5 years old separate from her own mom, flying another airport without the parents? How?
So as Merit had to pay out of pocket on the spot in the airport to get her daughters on the same flight with her. She says Cheapo Air promised to repay her, but that was 3 years ago. The company's been communicating with her and our call for action volunteers for 3 years with no resolution until this week. You can watch or read that full story on our website, channel3000.com. Dane County Regional Airport has some new high-tech upgrades to help blind travelers or those with impaired vision find their way around. Through a free smartphone app called Ira, travelers can connect to a live agent who will look through their smartphone camera and explain where to go catch their flight. While airports do have staff members who help the blind find their gate, Ira will give them much more.
If I need to use the restroom, if I need to go get a bite to eat, if I need to do some shopping or something, if I have a long layover, that's not their job. Their job is to get me safely from point A to point B.
The app can point users to restaurants and shops within the airport, along with communicating flight information and even helping locate baggage. More than 40 airports across the country and the world are currently using this technology. A bill that legalizes electric scooters in Wisconsin is making its way through the legislature, but there's an effort to push it through in time for major events this summer. Last year, electric scooter companies like Bird Scooters came to Milwaukee with some mixed reactions. Some liked the convenience, others were concerned that the scooters could be parked anywhere. Those scooters were never legalized, but now a bill could legalize them across the state. Representative Cindy Dutro of Della Field says the bill gives municipalities the power to tailor their policies.
We don't want a one-size-fits-all coming out of Madison. What works in Milwaukee may not work in Madison or work in Kenosha. So every municipality is going to make their own contract with whatever electric scooter company or companies that they choose to work with, and they will set the ordinances for where they can park, where they can drive, how fast they can go, and they have the right to ban them outright if they don't want them.
Duchow says she's confident her bill will get through the Assembly and is hoping for a speedy process in the Senate. She says that Milwaukee wants the bill signed and put into law by Summerfest, which starts 1 month from today. Back here in Madison, it's day 3 of the world's largest Brat Fest. 180,000 people attend that event every year. The current Brat sales tally just over 103,000. Admission is free, and Brat sales raise money for local charities.
You come to Bratfest, you have a good time, but you also do a lot of good things in the community too, just by being here and participating and having a Brat.
36th year, and it's raised more than $2 million for local charities over that time. The Worst Times Festival is also happening today. The event puts 35 Madison bands on 5 stages of its own at the High Noon Saloon, Brink Lounge, Brass Ring Complex all day long. This year's lineup includes the North Code, Joe Price, and the Cost, and the Civil Engineers, just to name a few. All proceeds benefit the Madison Area Music Association. The music runs from 11 a.m. to midnight. Time now is 6:40. You can't order a weekend forecast much better than this. All Madison area beaches are open and pools are as well. Here's a live look outside. Hopefully you're heading out there soon. Chris has your full First Alert forecast next.
It's another comfortable morning here across south central Wisconsin, but oddly enough, things are cooler than they were yesterday by 10 degrees in spots, upwards of 20 degrees in some other spots. That's because a cold front came through Wisconsin overnight. It didn't produce any rain, but you were certainly noticing that with the temperatures this morning. 40s across the Northwoods. In fact, some of those 40s are as close as places like Camp Douglas. Meanwhile, we're at 58 in Madison. Warmer temperatures as you continue to push your way towards the south and east. You'll also notice winds coming out of the north and northwest at about 5 miles per hour. That wind change also indicates that a cold front did come through It's a minor cold front, but notice a lot of these temperatures. Check out Camp Douglas right now at 47, Black River Falls at 44. All of that, folks, is associated with that cold front that's pushing south throughout the day. That cold front is what's going to save us from truly getting in on a lot of rain chances as we go throughout the day. High-resolution Doppler clear of any rain in the state of Wisconsin right now, but just to our south, we've had rounds of showers and thunderstorms all throughout the overnight hours, producing heavy rain, even some severe storms at times. But as long as that cold front is there, we're going to keep that at bay and away from us going through most of today. We'll see the sunshine returning probably around 10 or 11 o'clock or so, not too late. And then we'll see that sunshine continue into the afternoon as well. We're talking highs right around 76, which will be a little bit cooler than yesterday, but still pretty warm and comfortable if you plan on getting outside for this Memorial Day weekend. I do encourage you to take advantage of it. Overnight, the clouds come back into the picture, and that's when we'll also begin to see rounds of showers and thunderstorms again as we begin to move into Monday. But it's not just Monday. We're also looking at showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday as well. The severe weather threat for Monday is still across parts of the Midwest and the plains. That does include southwestern Wisconsin. Now, they've adjusted these lines just a little bit to take most of us out of the slight risk, but we are still in the marginal risk for severe thunderstorms. Then into Tuesday, we have the slight to enhanced risk of showers and thunderstorms, especially as you move towards parts of Iowa. So we have now added Tuesday to the forecast as an alert day due to that threat for showers and thunderstorms. It is no longer just Monday, and each day will have the potential for hail, high winds, and a tornado or two possible. So we're going to be keeping you guys up to date on the forecast as we go through the next couple of days. And then as we move beyond Tuesday and Wednesday, we finally begin to dry things out. I think we see a little bit of sunshine on Thursday going into Friday before more rain chances next weekend.
All right, what's the humidity out there like?
I'm sorry?
What's the humidity out there like right now?
The humidity is nowhere near as bad as it was yesterday, but maybe I adjusted yesterday. I just know yesterday was pretty muggy.
It was. All right. Well, hopefully today's a little better. Thank you so much,
My
Chris.
pleasure.
Right now, it's nesting season for Wisconsin's turtles, and the Dane County Humane Society is asking you to help those critters out. Around this time of year, turtles are on the move as they breed and look for places to lay their eggs. DCHS is asking drivers to slow down and allow those turtles to cross if you happen to see them in the road. The Wildlife Center has already taken in several injured snapping and painted turtles that have been hit by cars. If you see an animal in need of assistance, you can call the number that's there on your screen. Also, if you're helping a turtle out, only move them to where they're clearly headed and try not to pick them up by their tails. Wildlife experts say the bear population is growing and spreading in southern parts of Wisconsin. And here's proof. This bear was spotted on a security camera in Johnson Creek subdivision this week. The Wisconsin DNR says there are roughly 28,000 bears in Wisconsin, mostly living in the far northern part of the state. But occasionally, due to a growing population, bears are becoming more common farther south. Time now is 6:48. Everyone's favorite dancing queens are headed to the Dells this summer. Our Michael Bruno went backstage at the Palace Theater to check out the latest production of Mamma Mia. We'll check it out, too, right after this.
Temperatures this morning are a little bit cooler across Wisconsin. That's thanks to a cold front that came through overnight, but it's still going to be a beautiful day. Here we are, 9 degrees colder than 24 hours ago in Madison. Boscobel, 13 degrees colder than 24 hours ago. We're still seeing temperatures that are mainly in the 50s and 60s for most folks. But as you work your way back towards the north, Camp Douglas at 47, Black River Falls at 44, that's all the sign of the cold front that came through last night. But as we go throughout the day, we're going to get rid of the cloud cover that's out there. We'll see more sunshine and temperatures topping out right around 76. Jamie.
Thanks, Chris. In 1975, the Swedish pop group ABBA topped the charts with a song called Mamma Mia, and that song was turned into a jukebox musical in 1999. Over 60 million people have seen the show since its debut, and the production has made about $2 billion worldwide. They're going to have to add to that total because Mamma Mia is now playing at the Palace Theater in the Dells. Our Michael Bruno goes backstage to check it out.
So Mamma Mia is about a single mother named Donna Sheridan who runs a taverna over here in gorgeous Greece, as you can tell by our set. She has a daughter named Sophie who is about to get married.
Sophie doesn't know who her father is, and Donna's kind of been keeping that a secret for all these years.
She finally one night has given up on asking her mom, and she just reads her journal. She finds 3 possibilities of 3 men who could be her father.
And she sends out 3 letters signed from her mother to 3 potential fathers.
So now that she's about to get married, all she wants to do is have her father walk her down the aisle, as any young girl would want.
But
Mom won't talk about it.
yeah, Mom doesn't like to talk about it. Mom, she's a little bitter still.
Unbeknownst to her, all 3 fathers show up at the same time on the same weekend of the wedding.
Donna has to deal with seeing her old lovers for the first time in 21 years.
The audience kind of has fun figuring out the mystery of who Sophie's possible dad could be.
Insanity ensues.
And chaos ensues.
And hilarity ensues.
And then we end up in this, somehow.
Watch that scene, digging the dancing queen.
And talk to me about some of your wonderful choreography, because you put all the styles in there.
My choreography?
Yes, your choreography.
Oh, well, so I was thinking of just making each number something different again, like, because, you know, I did Joseph as well here. And so this time I just wanted to almost give it that Broadway feel or the tour feel. So I would pull and I would watch, like, the tour or the Broadway versions on YouTube, but then I'd add some Joshography to it to, like, make it mine. So I think that's what we came up with, some of the most fun stuff that we had in the show. So.
I am Bill Austin. Bill Austin is an Australian chap, and he is kind of the fun-loving dad of the 3. He's an adventure seeker. His job is he's a travel writer, and he travels all over the world. He's not big on commitment, and that comes into play much later in the show as well.
I play Sam Carmichael. He's a New York architect, recently divorced. He is the dad who has the biggest history with Donna, so we find out pretty quickly in the course of the show that Sam and her have had a rocky past, kind of rockier than the other 2 dads. So him being on the island is not very comfortable for him, because he knows when he sees Donna, something's going down.
Harry is a banker from London. He's kind of the heart of the show. He may not understand how to convey sympathy towards you or anything like that, but what he does know how to do is cheer you up and make you happy.
Hopefully one of them will strike her and she'll see that, oh my God, it's my dad. She just wants it to be a moment, but it's not. And it goes throughout the whole show of her getting moments with different characters, different fathers at different times, different songs add in, and she doesn't figure it out. And she's okay with it at the end because she realizes who she is, and she doesn't need to find who her dad is to know who she is.
You can catch Mamma Mia at the Palace Theater now through September 1st. Tickets are available on the theater's website, dellspalace.tix.com. There's still a full hour of news ahead here on News 3 Now this morning, Sunday. Next, we're running through the day's top stories. But first, here's a preview of what's to come on an all-new For the Record.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Josh Brighter. Today on the program, we're learning about how we can all raise awareness and funds for lung cancer research. News 3 Now is a proud sponsor of an event happening next month called Free to Breathe Yoga. I'll be joined by yoga instructor Natalie Koberstein, who's a team captain for the event. We've also got Joe Aducci-Scholes, who's a team captain, and Dennis Chalemi of the Lung Cancer Research Foundation. That's coming up at 10:30 on For the Record, right here on News 3 Now.
Right now, Earth Day has come and gone, but major cities around the world are proving you don't need a special day to help make the planet cleaner and greener. Simple ways you can pitch in.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning. It's May 26th. I'm Jamie Perez. We'll get a check on weather with Chris in just a second, but first let's get you caught up on today's headlines. It's all over for the Bucks. The team was hoping history would repeat itself from 2001 when the team was down 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Hornets going into Game 6 and ended up winning. Well, that didn't happen. Despite a hot 3-point streak from Chris Middleton and 21 points from Giannis, the Bucks couldn't stop the Raptors. The team lost 100-94. After the game, Giannis suggested this could be just the start for Milwaukee, who won their only championship back in 1971. He says they've got to get better as a team as well as individually and called this the start of a long journey. But this year, the Raptors will head to the finals against Golden State. Those times start Thursday. Badger men's basketball assistant coach Howard Moore and his son are recovering after their family was involved in a fatal car crash Saturday, which killed Moore's wife and daughter. It happened around 2 o'clock in the morning when a 23-year-old woman was driving the wrong way on Highway M14 and hit Coach Moore's car head on. Madison State Police say the 23-year-old that was driving was killed immediately. Coach Moore is now in critical condition, and his son, who was also in the car, car, suffered minor injuries. Moore played at Madison and was an assistant under Bo Ryan from 2005 to 2009, and also head coach at Illinois Chicago before he came back as an assistant undergrad Greg Gard. It's day 3 of the world's largest Brat Fest. 180,000 people attend that event every year. The current Brat sales tallies just over 103,000. Admission to that is free, and Brat sales raise money for local charities. This is Brat Fest's 36th year, and it's raised more than $2 million for local charities over that time. The last band takes the stage at 8 o'clock tonight. Wisconsin homes aren't selling like they were this time last year. The new report from the Wisconsin Realtors Association says in April, home sales were down almost 10% from last year at this time. This comes as median home prices climb. Average prices were up just more than 8% to $195,000 in the past year. Experts say the lower sales and higher prices are due to few homes being on the market. Wisconsin's been a seller's market now for nearly 2 years. We'll head on over to Chris Reese now with a look at our forecast. Chris?
Good morning, Jamie. Temperatures still comfortable out this morning, but they're a little bit colder than 24 hours ago. That's as a cold front continues to push down towards the south and east. Notice as you work your way towards Janesville, you're at 64, Kenosha and Milwaukee also at 64. Back towards the west, so things are just a little bit colder. 50 in Camp Douglas. Black River Falls at 46 right now. In Madison, we're at 59. Winds are calm, and yes, we are dealing with some cloud cover, but folks, if you plan on going out on the lake, maybe you're going to the terrace today, we will see more sunshine. All the cloud cover you see right now is mainly associated with some showers that are south of us, and I don't think they're necessarily going to make it this direction. Those are mainly across parts of northern Illinois, right along and just south of I-80 as we speak. They've been that way all night, and that cold front pushing through should continue to keep those showers and thunderstorms well south of us. Here's future track going through the rest of the day. We'll top out around 76 this afternoon, but Jamie, into tomorrow, those thunderstorm chances come back, some of which could be severe. We're looking at severe storms into Tuesday as well.
Chris? Thanks, Chris. Just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight. One person is dead after a series of canoes overturned on the Yahara River in Rock County. It happened in the Merwin Park area of Fulton Township Saturday afternoon. Deputies arrived to find multiple people who were clinging to logs and yelling for help. They were able to rescue 7 people. One was pinned under a submerged log and was taken to a local hospital this morning. The sheriff's office is not releasing that person's name, but we do know now that they died. Stick with News 3 Now all day for the latest on this developing story. As carbon dioxide levels continue to rise every year, big cities are looking for new ways to go green. And this month, London introduced the world's first ultra-low emission zone to fight the city's toxic levels of air pollution. It's one of the most radical anti-pollution policies on the planet. Mark Phillips takes us for a ride in London to show us how the polluter pays.
You don't have to go somewhere exotic to run into the effects of climate change these days. A drive around central London will do it. And because of environmental concerns, that drive has gotten a lot more expensive for some lately. Approach central London and you'll see these signs announcing a charge just for bringing your car into town. Ka-ching, about 15 bucks. And if you've got an older car, especially if it's a diesel, the overhead cameras will spot you, and under the new ultra-low emission zone, that'll be another 16.5 bucks. That's over $30 just to drive into town. Why? Just ask the mayor.
If you are going to drive in with a more polluting vehicle, you'd have to pay for that.
The point of Mayor Sadiq Khan's charges is to reduce pollution by reducing the number of vehicles which produce it.
So this is the iconic graph of atmospheric CO2 concentrations.
At the British Met Office, the country's weather forecasting service, they track the rise of carbon dioxide, the most prevalent greenhouse gas. Much of the data coming from the Mauna Loa Observatory in Hawaii, which has been measuring CO2 since 1958. Scientists like Richard Betts count the gas in parts per million of the air around us.
So it was almost down at 300 at the beginning, way past 400 now, so a 30% increase in CO2 over that half century or more.
And why is that significant?
It's significant because it's causing the world to warm.
In just that period, average global temperatures have risen about 1 degree Fahrenheit, a rise scientists connect to more severe weather, increased flooding, and drought. There's still skeptics out there. somehow who either doubt the source of the extra CO2 in the atmosphere and where it's coming from.
Even the skeptics, those who are disputing that it's a problem, will accept that the science is sound in that the warming is caused by increased greenhouse gases.
Over the past few years, we've been going to some of the Earth's extreme environments where the signs of climate change tend to show up first. We found that carbon that's been frozen in the Arctic permafrost is being released as it thaws. We found Antarctic islands where penguin colonies used to thrive that are now almost empty because the sea ice is gone. We've seen the coral bleaching due to warming on Australia's Great Barrier Reef. They used to simply produce daily weather forecasts in places like this. Now they can also look further into the future.
So we can't predict individual weather days more than a few days ahead, but we can make predictions of the annual average temperature and the seasonal temperature and rainfall. And we're predicting that a warmer world, changing rainfall patterns and rising sea levels.
The trend is up.
Yeah.
And if London is any example, the way we move around and the way we live our lives will change too.
More local news now. Many Madison families are spending the unofficial start of summer outdoors enjoying the warm, sunny weather. Madison splash pads and beaches are also now open for the season. The splash pads have extended hours this year, opening at 10 a.m., closing at 8 p.m. BB Clark and Vilas beaches will be staffed all weekend, and the city says it hopes to continue staffing both until the official lifeguard season begins in June.
Feels really nice to be back in the water. I'm pretty much running around and getting cold.
For more information on beach and city pools opening, visit our website, channel3000.com. Time now, 7:08. If temperatures stay in the 80s like they did yesterday, we'll see those lakes warm up in no time. We're coming off one of the hottest Saturdays so far this year. The nice weather looks like it's going to continue into today. Here's a live look outside. Chris has your full First Alert forecast next.
Welcome to Sunday, my friends. A little bit more cloud cover is in the picture this morning, but don't worry, I do think the skies will clear as we go into the afternoon. One of the things you'll notice, though, it's a little bit cooler than we were yesterday and slightly, again, slightly less smuggy as you step outside. It's still a little humid out there. We did have a cold front that came through last night that's been dropping the temperature somewhat. It didn't produce any rain. We're at 59 right now here in Madison, and if you plan on going out to be along the lake or the pools today, keep those plans in check because we are certainly going to see that sunshine later on. Here's the cold front right now as it continues to push towards the south. Notice Janesville is at 64 this morning. You work your way up towards Black River Falls and the numbers switch. You are at 46 degrees there. But with the sunshine that comes in later, that's where we'll begin to get our warming. There's a little bit of cloud cover out there. That's associated with some showers and thunderstorms that are south of us. They should be staying south of us as we go all throughout today, but then that will change as we move into Monday. Let's take you hour by hour through today, though. We'll see those temperatures in the 60s by lunchtime, and then sunshine and 70s for the peak heating of the afternoon. This is why I said keep those plans if you plan on being outdoors later on. The shower chances don't return until we get into your Monday. So these are the wee hours of Monday morning. Here we are by 9 o'clock Monday morning, and you see the showers and thunderstorms again rolling back into the picture, and they'll likely come in multiple rounds, not just Monday, but potentially into Tuesday. And some of those storms very well could be severe. We have a slight risk of severe weather for the extreme southwestern part of the state and really just south and west of Wisconsin as a whole. Here in Madison on Monday, we're under the marginal risk for severe weather. Into Tuesday, though, that becomes a slight risk, which is level 2 out of 5. The enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5, will be very close across parts of Missouri, along with Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa. But we are going to watch just how close that does get because we are looking at the possibility of some pretty strong and severe thunderstorms on Tuesday as well, which is why Tuesday has been added to the forecast as an alert day with the potential for some hail, damaging winds and tornadoes, along with just the heavy rain potential as well. We're going to get multiple rounds of rain that come through as we go through the week ahead. It's not going to be until Thursday, folks, that we truly begin to dry out. So with all that rain coming our way, it is possible to see another 2 to 3 inches of rain for some folks across parts of the state. So we're going to be watching those water levels very carefully and, of course, keeping you guys up to date. But the next day of sunshine does come Thursday afternoon, even lingering into Friday before more rain chances could arrive by next Saturday, Jamie.
Gorgeous. And nice weather means that Chris Reese will be outside, so you can always find him and invite him to whatever activity you're doing. That's right, Chris?
Yep, and if you have a pool, like I said, I will be there. Just let me know.
Make that a party for 2. I will be there as well.
All right, let's go, Jamie. Let's get the floaties. Let's go.
We got him. Thanks, Chris. We've been asking you to share your morning with us. This one is from Melissa Sprutcher through Facebook. Thank you for sharing this beautiful, picturesque photo with us. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it on Channel 3000's Facebook page or on Twitter using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We'll share our favorites right here on News 3 this morning. More rain in the forecast isn't exactly good news for farmers who are already seeing major setbacks. The USDA says Wisconsin farmers have 35% of their corn and 12% of their soybeans planted. That puts planting about a week and a half behind schedule. Corey Brown is a farmer at Sunburst Dairy. He says right now only 60 out of 400 acres of his farm corn is planted. His alfalfa is in the ground, but it's already been snowed on twice.
Traditionally, we'll harvest our alfalfa first cutting next week. And with all the rain, that doesn't look like it will happen. So we're very concerned because about 25% of what my cows eat in a year is alfalfa silage. And another third of what they eat is corn silage. So the vast majority of my cow's diet is possibly in jeopardy.
Brown says the only thing keeping his stress in check is that there's just not much he can do about it. A big weekend for motorsports fans. It's race day in Indianapolis. The green flag for the Indy 500 is set to go off just before noon today at 11:45. The race is 200 laps and 500 miles long, but before the 103rd running of the greatest spectacle in racing was the annual Zoopolis 500 tortoise race. The event is always held a week leading up to the race. The radiated tortoises follow their noses down the rainy track where a banquet of fresh fruit waits for them at the finish line. The Madagascar natives are known for their star-patterned shells and are considered to be one of the world's most beautiful tortoises. This year's winner is named Ed. Simon and Pippa came in second and third. Time now, 7:17, the importance of winning. Most kids start playing organized sports by the time they're 6 years old, but it is important for them to perform well at that age. Well, physicians will weigh in on that. And take me out to the duck pond. Mallard's Ball starts back up again this week. We're talking to Tyler Isham from the organization next on News 3 Now this morning, Sunday.
Well, across southern Wisconsin this morning, there's a little bit of cloud cover out there, but don't fret if you are concerned about rain chances. This cloud cover, though, is associated with rain that is happening mainly to our south. Here that is right now across Illinois over the past 12 hours. And notice how most of that has stayed south of the state line. That's because we have a cold front that is pushed through overnight, keeping that moisture at bay. Temperatures, though, they're still fairly mild. We're at 59 right now in Madison, 60s down closer towards the state line, 40s as you work your way towards Black River Falls. Everyone warms up today, though. We'll get more sunshine in here later on in the morning, and then we'll see those highs right around 76. Jamie.
Workplace childcare to attract employees. One of those companies is Pepsi's headquarters in Purchase, New York. Around 70 kids attend Pep Start and do yoga, play with blocks, and do arts and crafts as well. The program is not free, but because Pepsi takes care of overhead costs like rent, heat, and electricity, and it's less expensive than a standalone daycare. Other companies like Home Depot, Mercedes, and Starbucks also offer some of those daycare services. Best Buy offers a low-cost backup child care benefit. When it comes to youth sports, a lot of kids feel pressure to win or play well, whether that's from parents or coaches. But the American Academy of Pediatrics says the focus should be on fun and enjoyment instead of winning trophies. That's according to a new report out this morning. Most kids are ready to play organized sports at about 6 years old, but doctors say at those younger ages, things like letting them run and jump are more important than putting the bat to the ball. Kids can also develop important life skills, even if their team isn't winning.
teamwork and self-reflection, organization. It helps kids develop social skills, improves their self-esteem, and can decrease feelings of stress and depression.
That new report also found that coaches who prioritize having fun tend to help kids stay interested in sports longer. It also encourages finding ways to get all kids involved in sports, regardless of their skill level. We're just 2 days away from the start of baseball season here in Madison. First pitch of the Mallard season is at 6:05 Tuesday night. But first, Tyler Eischen from the team joins us this morning with a preview of what fans can expect for the season. Tell us a little bit about what we can look forward to.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, we open up in 2 days, Tuesday night at 6:05. It's going to be really exciting. We've been working all week at the ballpark to kind of get it ready for the summer, but we're really excited. We have a lot of new food options, which I think was talked about earlier this week, but we've got some poison curds, a really nice brisket sandwich, but both of our chefs, Tristan Straub and Matt Phelps, come from a high dining background and really do some awesome food. You can see those are actually our hot curds there, Nashville hot, and the poison with the pineapple slice. But a lot of neat new food options coming to the ballpark this summer.
Wow, that looks really good on screen right there,
actually. The Thai basil dog there as well.
So how many new items did you add to the menu?
So we normally add like 10 or 12 different items throughout the different stands that we have. You know, we cut some. It's not like the menu just keeps getting bigger. But interestingly enough, the classics are still the burgers, brats, hot dogs. Those are certainly the ones that we're going through the most.
And obviously, it's about the game. What can people look most forward to when it comes to this season?
Yeah, so our manager, Donnie Scott, returns for his 7th season with us. Donnie was a big league player back in the 80s and has managed our team the last 7 years. So whenever we have Donnie, we're in a good spot to win. Last year, we set our team record with 49 wins. So we're hoping to build on that and equate it to some postseason success this year.
Awesome. And this is obviously like a staple for Madison sports. And so like anybody can come, even if you're not really into sports. There's so much that you can do around the stadium, right?
Yeah, the biggest thing is that, you know, yes, we're playing baseball, but we kind of look at ourselves as an entertainment venue as well. So there's a lot of different options for everybody. So even if you're not a baseball fan, we've got kids games, there's music being played, there's always some sort of fun entertainment involved in coming to our games, a cool giveaway, a music act, something like that on top of, you know, the baseball happening on the field.
Now you're the general manager for the whole stadium and team. So what do you enjoy the most about when a new season kicks off like this?
Yeah, for me, opening night is the best. Opening those gates and seeing fans kind of floodgate into the stadium, it makes all the work that we've kind of put into that season worth it. And honestly, when people leave, when they leave and I get to say goodbye to them and thank them for coming to games, and you just see the smiles on people's faces as they come through. When you come into our game, right above the front gate, it says, "Welcome to your 9-inning vacation." And really a big part of my job is making sure that those people can have that vacation when they come to the ballpark. You don't have to go far away or jump on a plane. You can just come to Warner Park for 3 hours and be entertained with a lot of fun on the baseball field.
What are you expecting ticket sales to look like?
Really good. So there's a few tickets to sell for opening night, so come out on Tuesday night. Wednesday and Thursday are both really close to being sold out already. So you know, our games sell out early, so make sure when you want to come to a game that you get those early, but ticket sales look good. It should be a really fun season.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure a lot of Madisonians are too.
Oh, sure.
Thank you for joining us on our show this morning. There is still a half hour of news still ahead here on News 3 this morning, Sunday. Next, we're going to run through the morning's top stories, including the Bucs season-ending loss and what Yanni says is next for the team. And we'll meet this month's top-notch teacher, a special ed teacher in Watertown, who has a very special connection with her students. Thank you so much for watching News 3 Now this morning, Sunday.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's May 26th. I'm Jamie Perez. We're going to check on weather with Chris in just a second, but first let's get you caught up on today's headlines. It's all over for the Bucks. The team was hoping history would repeat itself from 2001 when the team was down 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Hornets going into Game 6 and ended up winning. Well, that didn't happen. Despite a hot 3-point streak from Chris Middleton and 21 points from Giannis, the Bucks could not stop the Raptors. The team lost 100-94. After the game, Giannis suggested this could be just the start for Milwaukee, who won their only championship back in 1971. He says they've got to get better as a team, as well as individually, and called this the start of a long journey. But this year, the Raptors will head to the finals against Golden State. Those games start Thursday. Badger men's basketball assistant coach Howard Moore and his son are recovering after their family was involved in a fatal car crash Saturday, which killed Moore's wife and daughter. It happened around 2 o'clock in the morning when a 23-year-old woman was driving the wrong way on Highway M14 and hit Coach Moore's car head on. Madison State Police say the 23-year-old was killed immediately. Coach Moore is now in critical condition, and his son, who was also in the car, suffered minor injuries. Moore played at Madison and was an assistant under Bo Ryan from 2005 to 2009, and also head coach at Illinois Chicago before he came back as an assistant under Greg Gard. And one person is dead after a series of canoes overturned on the Yahara River in Rock County that happened at Merwin Park in the Merwin Park area of Fulton Township Saturday afternoon. Deputies arrived to find multiple people who were clinging to logs and yelling for help. They were able to rescue 7 people. One was pinned under a submerged log and was taken to a local hospital. This morning, the sheriff's office is not releasing that person's name, but we do know right now that they died. Stick with News 3 Now all day long for the latest on this developing story. And we'll head on over to Chris, who joins us with our forecast.
Good morning, Jamie. You're waking up and you're looking outside and you may be saying, hey, there's a little bit of cloud cover out there. Yes, this is true, but don't be too concerned about the cloud cover. It's associated with some showers that we do see across parts of northern Illinois and parts of eastern Iowa as we speak. Notice, though, a lot of this hasn't been able to make it across the state line. Once we zoom into our area, Doppler track completely clear. Most of this is because we had a cold front that came through. That's pushing a lot of that moisture and the shower and thunderstorm activity towards the south. It's a little bit cooler out there this morning, but still pleasant and just a little bit less humid. And it's going to be a little less humid as we go throughout the day as well. The sunshine does return this afternoon. We're talking highs right around 76 degrees. Get outside and enjoy that. Tomorrow is the actual holiday, yes, but showers and thunderstorms do return. This is 8:30 tomorrow morning. We could see multiple rounds of strong to severe thunderstorms throughout your Memorial Day, likely lasting into Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Jamie?
Thank you, Chris. More local news now. The Watertown Police Department is asking for your help identifying the shoplifters that you can see here. Police say the 3 suspects took several items from the Watertown Walmart. Anyone with information is asked to call the Watertown Police Department. Reaching Independence Through Structured Education, also known as RISE, is a program that's being used at an elementary school in Watertown. One teacher you'll find at that school is Allie Keller. She says she cannot imagine not being a teacher, but that just scratches the surface of what makes Miss Keller top-notch. Our Charlotte DeLess shares her story.
Push, push. Good job. Bicycles and balls. They're the activities of choice for Allie Keller students. Keep going. Allie is a special education teacher for all the kids with significant disabilities at Schurz Elementary in Watertown.
There's so many obstacles that these kids have to overcome, and I just look at these families and I say, we're going to figure out and we're going to do it together.
And she means that. Getting over those obstacles is something she and her team have been working on together for 8 years.
I think it's really important to give kids the opportunity to learn the way that they need to learn. In my classroom, we like to call it fun and functional. Caterpillar!
Here, the kids are pretending to be a caterpillar that turns into a beautiful butterfly. Fun, right? But little do they know, they're working on fine and gross motor movement. That's the functional part.
I guess I'm really passionate about working with families and making the children successful and independent as much as they can be. Avery, can you find chocolate chips?
For the past 2 years, Allie's students have been running their own bakery business at school called Coffee Cart. On Thursdays, they bake.
Can you scoop that all in there?
On this day, they're making chocolate chip banana muffins. They'll go around to all the teachers and ask if they'd like a baked good and a drink. The next morning, they put all the orders together and deliver them.
For kids with significant disabilities, any little thing that they do is a huge accomplishment. When I see one of my students meet their goals, it brings me so much joy. And put it in. Good job. I can't even tell you. Yes. Yes. We worked on that for 4 years.
Ultimately, it's about life skills.
My hopes for my students are for them to be active community members and to be happy and to live fulfilled lives like everyone else. I want them to be like everyone else.
That's right. Just like her Uncle Greg, who was born with developmental delays and found a way to thrive.
I guess I am very passionate and I do want to make a difference in the world. And I want my kids, when they leave my room every day, to know that they are loved and that they are worth something and that they can do it. And I'm going to take them out.
And with Allie's determination, there's no doubt her students, past, present, and future, will go through a transformation of sorts and discover how beautifully capable they truly are.
I always say, once you're a Keller kid, you're a Keller kid for life. Good job, Josie. You're on fire. High five. I'm really proud of you.
If you would like to nominate an outstanding teacher for part of our top-notch teacher program, head over to channel3000.com and click on the Education tab. Time now, 7:35. We are getting your holiday weekend barbecue started early this morning. Next, one of our favorites, Chris Gernan from Longhorn Steakhouse, is in the house with a preview of a summertime staple you'll want to add to your repertoire. News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
Well, temperatures are in the 50s and 60s this morning. Humidity a little bit lower as well. That's all thanks to a weak cold front that came through overnight. All it really did was drop our temperatures a couple degrees and swept out some humidity. But folks, things are still going to be comfortable today. A little cloudy right now, but that cloud cover will eventually go by the wayside. It's because of some showers and thunderstorms that are mainly south of us throughout parts of northern Illinois this morning. Thanks to the cold front, they should be staying south of us. But as we plan the day ahead, look for more sunshine to come back into the picture. And we're also talking highs that are going to make it into the mid and perhaps even upper 70s.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. As the unofficial start of summer, Memorial Day weekend is the perfect time to fire up the grill and enjoy a nice barbecue with your friends and family. But grilling out does not have to take a lot of time to be tasty. That's where Chef Gernon comes in. He joins us now. I'm so excited because this has been sizzling for the past 10 minutes, and it's all I can think about. So I'm excited for you to talk about it and take it away.
We're bringing the smell in. Cool. Well, we know it's Memorial Day weekend, and most Americans are going to be grilling. So I'm happy to announce we're going to be bringing back our Grill Us Hotline. That's going to be available on Monday, May 27th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central. You can call us and ask us any questions about cooking, seasoning, temperatures. We're going to have grill masters ready to talk to you.
Awesome.
Well, we brought in one of our new summer favorites. It's our Hawaiian ribeye. I figured we could make this along today. We always talk about seasonings, but we're going to marinate one today.
Oh my
so we're
gosh,
going to make the marinade together. Are you excited?
Oh, we're doing it together?
We are.
Oh, I didn't know
got the
that.
mixing
Okay.
bowls here.
Oh, God. Okay.
So we're going to add our teriyaki glaze, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to let you pour that one in. It's some soy sauce.
Oh, my God. I'm going to mess this up.
Oh, you got it.
Okay.
Oh, and then we're going to go granulated garlic. We have our brown sugar to give it that sweetness. Okay. And last but not least, we have our ginger. And that's the secret right there. All right, so we're gonna mix this all together. The way we like to do is we like to marinate this for 4 hours, okay? As you can see, get it all mixed in there well. And this is a boldly seasoned. So we have our raw steak and we're gonna submerge it right up in there, okay? Kind of flip it around, get it nice in there. That's gonna go for 4 hours. As you can see, I have one ready here. That's a little darker from the marinade for 4 hours.
Sure.
We're still gonna grill this because you know what? Seasoning's in the flavor.
Why not?
So we're gonna add our grill seasoning. We recommend cooking this one over the open flame. Reason being, it's going to give you the combination of the smoky flavor and the sweet flavor. All right, you hear the sizzle right there.
That sound.
Awesome. So we keep a little bit of this marinade to the side, though, because you want to use it during the cooking process. So as you flip your steak, every 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how much you like it done, okay, a little less done, we're going to add this in as we're cooking it, and it gives it all that flavor, as you can see it.
Oh, my gosh.
We top that with a couple pineapples, kind of get a little fruity for the summertime.
Oh,
and you have your Hawaiian ribeye.
Oh my
Got that
goodness.
paired here with our seasonal corn on the cob. Topped with a La Crema sauce and garlic Parmesan cheese.
Wow.
And we also have another seasonal favorite, our chimichurri salmon. Brand new to the menu, but selling really well. I really enjoy it.
Oh my gosh. Wait, so what's on top of the salmon right here?
That's a chimichurri, and that is a combination of garlic and onion mix, cilantro, parsley, oil, and then we mix it all together and we put it on top.
Wow, that sounds really good, but I don't know if you could go on a date after that. No, nobody's kissing anybody after all that
No,
garlic
maybe
and
not
onion.
kissing, but you know, that's okay. Go to the movies after.
Wow, and this is all like really healthy, and it's kind of a meal that like anybody could really.
A little lighter for the
partake in,
summertime.
yeah.
It's our seasonal item, so we're excited about it. And you could always pair it well with one of our Knob Creek Old Fashions. Wisconsin always loves that.
Sure, and tell us about the hotline one more time.
So 1-855-LH Grill. You can call us 9 to 3 p.m. tomorrow on Memorial Day and ask any questions you need. We're there for you.
All right, well, this sounds amazing, and it smells really good. Perks of being in TV, this will stay with us after the show. So thank you so much for being on our show with us.
Welcome.
Time now, 7:43. Wisconsinites are hoping for more great weather tomorrow and into their shortened work weeks, but storm chances are rolling back into our area. You're looking live over the Capitol now. Chris is back with your full first forecast next on News 3 Now this morning. But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 years old soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV.
We're waking up to a little bit of cloud cover out there this morning. Temperatures are a little cooler as well, in the upper 50s instead of the upper 60s. But we'll get better as we move into the afternoon. Winds are calm as well. Oh boy, yes, it is humid. The humidity at 78%. But a cold front did move through, sweeping out just a little bit of that humidity. That's pushing towards the south as we speak, actually keeping at bay some showers and thunderstorms that are further down to the south, along with some of the lightning and thunder that's really since fallen apart as we have gone through much of the morning. We'll see more sunshine by the time we get you towards about 11 o'clock or so. Notice temperatures will then at that point be into the upper 60s, and it's going to be the upper 70s by the time we get you into this afternoon. Again, with the sky full of sunshine. So if you have outdoor plans for your Memorial Day, you're firing up the grill, you're going to the pool, you're going to be out on the lakes, do it. It's going to be a great day to do it. And I encourage you to do it simply because cloud cover moves in overnight, and then comes the showers and thunderstorms as we move into Monday. This is 8:30 tomorrow morning. Thankfully, it's not going to be a huge commute time for a lot of folks, but we can likely see a round of showers and thunderstorms rumbling through here. That'll begin to move away as another round of showers and thunderstorms begins to develop back towards the west. And the thing is, we're going to see multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms going through the next couple of days. On Monday, we actually do have a small risk for some of those to be severe, especially from about the Dells and down towards the state line. A slight risk once you move towards the south and west of that. So this zone right along I-80 is probably where the greatest threat for severe weather is going to be into Monday. By Tuesday, we begin to watch this move towards the north a little bit. So now the Dells, Madison, all the way over towards Milwaukee and La Crosse get included into that slight risk, then towards central Iowa, back down through parts of Missouri, Kansas, and Nebraska. That is where we have the enhanced risk for severe weather, which is a level 3 out of 5. Nonetheless, we are watching Tuesday as a whole to be another pretty potent severe weather day across parts of the upper Midwest. With that, we've added an alert day to the forecast. Again, it's going to be hail, high winds, and the potential for some tornadoes. But then after Tuesday, the next system comes in that last Wednesday and then finally begins to move out on Thursday. So the moral of the story is, folks, as we go through the next couple of days, we're looking at a lot of rainfall coming through, perhaps another 1 to 3 inches throughout parts of the state. Check this out. It's trying to highlight the potential for upwards of 4 inches throughout parts of western Wisconsin. Hopefully we don't get that much rain, but nonetheless, it is an alert day Monday and Tuesday as these showers and thunderstorms come through. Sunshine does return for Friday before another rain chance by next weekend. Kenzie in Watertown is excited about that forecast, I guess.
Also
look at
very
that.
Photogenic.
I know, just all
Beautiful.
smiles this morning. She must smell the steak that we have back here.
I was going to say she might have an inkling of the forecast that's coming up with all these 70s, because that's what
It's
my
something-
face don't look
yeah,
like when I walk
know.
outside.
But nonetheless, yes, it's going to storm. It's summer.
Right.
It's not that bad
It
of a
happens.
forecast. Yeah, it does.
Thank you, Chris. Well, there's more ahead on News 3 now, channel3000.com as well. As a reminder, our show will not air tomorrow morning, but we will see you back here Tuesday morning. But first this morning, imagine discovering your greatest talent by accident and then using that to turn your life around. How what sounds like the plot of a movie became reality for one college student. The inspiring story is just ahead. Finally, this morning, we have the story of a young college student who's overcoming poverty and hardship with the help of a string instrument. Eddie James plays lead cello in the George Mason University Orchestra, but says he discovered his talent by accident.
Yeah, Chip Reed visited James on the Virginia campus to learn about his life-changing passion.
What is happening to you when you play?
I mean, mostly it's just kind of me trying to ignore the fact that there's hundreds of people in front of me.
For 20-year-old Eddie Adams, the cello has been an instrument for much more than music.
I would stay after school and practice for however long, and then would take the after-school bus home just to at least spend as much time as I can being, I guess, away from reality.
The cello takes you away from reality.
Yeah.
He struggled with a difficult home life and at times lived with his family in a shelter.
But I just remember it was kind of weird, especially having to take the school bus from the homeless shelter.
In junior high school, he discovered the cello by chance.
They had us go around and try different instruments.
Right, try different things.
And I tried percussion and they said I had no rhythm. So then I ended up not playing percussion. And they were like, oh, we need people in the orchestra. And then that was the first time I saw cello. I was like, I don't want to do this.
But he persevered with the help of cello YouTube videos and encouragement from people like his high school music teacher, Gerald Felks.
At the time, I mean, his escape was music.
He became so good so fast that George Mason University offered him a full tuition scholarship, even though he had never had a private lesson.
He has talent, enormous talent.
The director of stringed instruments at George Mason, June Huang, says Adams' audition was special.
I remember that moment because it's unique when you hear music come from the core of somebody, the silent, peaceful middle of someone. And I felt honored to witness that.
When he didn't have one of his own, Huang lent Adams her cello.
I believe we are mandated as human beings to lift each other and to bring each other's gifts forward. And that's really all I'm doing. And he made beautiful music on my terrible cello.
For Adams, simple deeds like those have been life-changing.
I feel like thank you isn't enough to really describe how I feel, and I feel weird just even saying thank you because I feel like it's not adequate enough to all the people.
What does the cello mean to you?
Everything, because it's kind of gotten me everything that I have now and gotten to me to where I am today. It got me into school, and I never saw myself being in college.
A sound success where the opportunities are endless. Chip Reed, CBS News, Fairfax, Virginia.
I love hearing inspiring stories like that.
I love hearing music. That's awesome. Again, just want to reiterate the cello, not the cello.
Yeah, Chris was going to say, Chris was going to read it as cello.
I almost said cello earlier. It is the cello, folks. Something to keep in mind. I know that just happens a lot. But forecast, not too shabby, especially as we go through the rest of today. We'll see more sunshine this afternoon. Temperatures will top out right around 76 degrees or so. Monday and Tuesday are alert days. We could see strong to severe thunderstorms as those roll on through, and perhaps some strong storms on Wednesday as well. We'll watch that. It's going to take some time before that becomes more of a clear picture. By Thursday, shower chances begin to wind down somewhat. Sunshine on Friday, but then more rain chances do arrive by the time we get towards next Saturday. And if you've watched this show, you know, as we always say, it wouldn't be a Saturday. So nonetheless, naturally, the rain chance is there, but then perhaps more sunshine a week from now as well.
We've got sunshine. Sounds good to me.
On a cloudy day?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yes. Literally, yeah. Thank you, Chris, and thank you all at home for watching. Have a great rest of your day.